Most of them left their homes looking for safe places, and some of them are something else, not human anymore. The environment became toxic. Exposure to the sun is harmful. My mission, to find a cure.
Crisis point? I thought this was really well done. The thing I liked best about it, I'd have to say, is that in the beginning when she's setting the stage of how everybody and herself got to kind of that point where, you know, she's alone in the woods. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of friendly people out there. She has to defend herself and survive. And when she's, you know, describing how humanity broke down to that stage, if I'm not mistaken, she's just using a lot of actual footage from things that happen in our current world. And she's talking about, you know, consumption of natural resources and war and, you know, viruses. And obviously that's kind of where it is more dramatic, like more, you know, goes off of a story now, where the full breakdown of society and the full breakdown of kind of humanity as well, with the environment being toxic and the sun being, you know, extremely harmful, and there being no safe places anymore, and her mission to, you know, kind of find the cure that's going to start the world back to a better place. But I think it's so interesting. I think that's what I really liked best, is that it started off explaining the story in things that everybody could recognize, because they were things that are happening in the world, and then it kind of branched off from there. So from the very beginning, as an audience member, you feel bonded to her as a character, because you recognize the beginning, at least from the beginning part of where her story was, and all of that kind of drive to salvage something, I think, is something that theoretically all of us would experience in that moment, whether we could actually do something about it or not, find a cure, develop it, whatever. But I think that initial drive of like wanting to return humanity back to something, like back to a state where people could live and exist together and things like that, I think is something that like everybody could relate to. And by setting it up that way, I think that it bonds the audience to her as a character right off the bat, which I think is really, really smart.
I like Crisis Point. It's impressive how much was accomplished. It seemed by one person or very few people from the credits. Great job. I know that could not have been easy. As somebody who's made films by myself, it's not easy, yo. And that was impressive. That was genuinely like, it didn't feel like it was made by one person from the scale, you know? So that was cool. I like the fight, the choreography. I thought that was really cool. Great world building. Um, really well executed. Short and to the point. I rocked with it. Keep it up. Good job.
Crisis Point. I think the cinematography on this was really, really good. I liked the stunt choreography. I think that they did a really nice job with that. Music was fantastic. It fit the mood. It elevated all of the emotion that was in this. It was good. I also liked the story premise. I think they were onto something really smart with this story. I liked it, but there were areas in it where I was a little bit confused going back and going forward. Even with the special effects filter, it was still kind of, it took me a minute to be like, well, wait a minute, are we in the past now? Are we in the present? Where are we? But yeah, it was a good film.
Crisis Points. This film presents a visually striking and immersive take on a post-apocalyptic world with bold cinematography and an unsettling soundscape that pulls you into its toxic, war-torn setting. The fight sequences are intense, adding to the film's raw survivalist energy. While some ideas might feel underdeveloped, the film succeeds in creating an atmosphere of desperation and resilience. It's an ambitious project that, even if it's not totally fleshed out, offers a really unique and gripping experience.